Yeah, you might sound good. You look terrible, though. I'll tell you
Whoa,
that.
white balance, blue. Welcome to the Smart
Dude.
Nonsense Podcast, where we warm up, we get a white balance, we talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, challenging them norms. Pop, how are you?
It's fine, dude. No need to apologize. It's fine,
Do you
dude.
like all my crooked pictures?
We were shooting an hour ago, but it's fine. I
big
got nothing to
backdrop?
do but sit here. I did a lot of sports today, so I needed you to ice me. That's it, dude. I think you're nervous. You're nervous because this is gonna be a banger episode, and you're like, I can't be shown up by all the tea Dylan's bringing. So let me just have him sit in the waiting room for 20 minutes, just right here, dude. Right here, just
Dude,
me, just
I'm
me.
stoked.
That's
stoked.
so
This is the
sick,
best part
dude.
of my day. This is the best part of my day. Once the Wi-Fi catches up on Riverside, best part.
I
of my
don't
day.
think that's a very low bar. Very low bar today. We got a lot of problems here at Clipped, but 6 months ago, very similar situation. Somehow we lose money every month. We lost a lot of money last year, according to our
the whole year.
P&L, profit and loss.
The whole
Yeah.
year.
Phenomenal losses over here at Clipped. But that's fine. That's fine because our content's doing well. Henry hit like 100 million views last month. I'm still just 25, dude. 25 and steady.
You got to
so that's
post
sick.
to get views. That's, you got to post.
Right. It's if then. So the problem
Well,
here
here's a
is
good thing. Let me give you a silver lining really quick. So the company operated at a loss last year. Complete loss.
over $100,000 according to some.
Negatives on negatives. The silver lining is, from an accounting perspective, they're like, that's a huge win. You guys, you have no tax obligation. None. Actually, the government owes you money because you overpaid. So
Be like, why were you guys paying taxes? Did you think you were going to be millionaires? Did you think that, guys? Yeah, we
it
did.
was so funny.
We did
at
for
the
a
end
bit.
of our call with them. At the end of our call with them yesterday, you're like, "All right, guys. Well, happy 2023. I hope you're ready to count all the money coming in because we're about to take off."
dude, that was a stand-up comedy. Oh, easy. Fucking banger, dude. They were hooting and hollering for that one because they're like, you guys, we're lucky if you pay the invoice next month. We're lucky if we pay it this week. We'll get into that. The short answer is we got to make 50 grand in the next 2 days. That's sick. I don't know where that's coming from. That's like 50 grand after like me sending everything in my bank account and
all of it.
and literally putting a gun to everyone that's ever crossed our path's head and being like, pay us for 3 months up front right now. Like, what is the product you're offering? What I don't even know what this is. Because there's a lot, dude. There's so much. I wanted to talk
that's a
about
whole problem. We've been there before, though. We've had episodes on here about needing to make 70 grand in a week. We've done it. We do it. It happens
It's just-
once you learn. It's just a shame. It's just a shame we got to do it again.
Well, I was just hey, I'll get into this in a bit, but I go to this gym now. I don't do any workouts at the gym. That's not my thing. I just go there for the hot tub. That's sick. I also went in the steam room. No steam today. That's fine though. So I go there. When I get out of the steam room, I see this guy, and he's got a brown sweatshirt. So I'm like, yo, guy, what's up? He's like, yeah, dude, I went to Brown too, but I just got laid off. It's like, oh, what happened? He's like, crypto startup, ran out of cash, had to fire people. I'm like,
I shouldn't be.
That is what do you call that? Anti-fragile? They're not they're fragile.
He's fragile. He's fragile.
And we're what's the word? Resilient? We're resilient.
Yeah.
We've been here before. It's scary every time, but it's not scary. There's always credit cards. We could, beg some of our clients that are rich to give us money. So we'll find a way. But it is frustrating. Here's what I want to do. I want to go back from the last call because I think we were selling the company. I still might just give it to somebody, but I guess I spoiled kind of what happened. But last we left off, we were trying to sell. I think we talked about Tiny, and we're going back and forth with Tiny, which is like a company that buys. They make like buying process super easy for any company with over $500,000 a year in profit, and we're like, Well, we got negative 100 and something, so does that work? But if you take us out and all our editors, we're technically profitable. I didn't even really realize that. Like, we never really factor in.
Super profitable.
We're super profitable.
Super profitable. Like, we should do that.
Right. We should stop doing content because the business is sick if we're not involved.
It's us. We are the problem.
So we tried going back and forth, and basically Tiny, they're like, hey, guys, it's just really not an appealing business to us. It's like a fucking headache to find an operator to come in because you guys are leaving, even though it's like a pretty hands-off company. And then it's like small potatoes for them. Like, we're not that big. We're literally hitting their minimum threshold. And they're like, hey, guys, it's a pass. Now, this is all happening while Henry's in Africa at this point, or Mauritius at this point. I'm losing my mind. And then, oh, no, you came back. Well, you were like in the process of going back to Chicago, and that took like a fucking week in itself. But we're async, so I'm losing my mind, still like PTSD'd out. But I come up with this plan. I wanted to shoot a pod on it, but we ended up just shipping it off. I'm like, okay, Tiny wants to work with us. They've expressed interest in us as creators. They're like, oh, they're talking about being the next Mr. Beast. Who knows? Maybe they could get like 10% of Mr. Beast and actually like have something that we'd potentially like to partner with. So there was something there, but they said pass on Clip. We don't want that company. So I come up with the idea. I'm like, hey, okay, we don't want to be slaves to them and like give them a percentage of all our future income. They don't want Clipped, but we want this package deal. Like, we wanted something where they get a little bit of both. So my idea was like, look at why are they passing on us? Because there's not upside, or there's like the chance of downside, because Clipped could like, there's, we realized pretty high churn. And so who knows what the fuck's going to happen if we're out of the loop and like not bringing in leads, which who knows how much of an effect we have. But basically my whole thing was like, okay, let's just increase the probability that they make money off Clip. Like, let's just guarantee that they don't lose money based off of our own creator careers. I thought it was brilliant. I'm like, hey, risk-free to you guys.
Brilliant. Yeah, it was actually too brilliant. Dirty cough.
Oh yeah, dude, you should hear me, dude. I'm wheezing when I play hockey. It's embarrassing.
Old man.
I had tryouts yesterday too.
I do yoga. Tryouts.
Yeah,
tryouts for a men's league.
Tryouts for men's league. It was hilarious. There are like fucking 60 people out there. No, that's sick though. You're burning them
men's
up.
league
That's
that
awesome.
plays at noon.
No, there are a lot of different leagues, but yeah, dude, it's so sick. No, I don't want to talk about that. Different thread. Stay on topic. Okay, so it was too smart. It was like we talk about the graph with like the dirt or like the dumb person, and then there's the midwit. I don't know. Find the graph and we'll put it up. But like, there's the really dumb person. There's the midwit, which is like the person that overanalyzes, and then there's the genius. And what happens is the genius and the dummy often have the same answer to whatever you're thinking about. So in this case, it's like, I don't know, maybe it was too midwitty. I thought it was kind of clever and like guaranteeing them stuff. But basically they came back and they're like, I think they said interesting.
The midwit
Let's think
is
about
like
this.
The midwit was like, it was like 8 different bullet points. You already know that's going to be midwit because it's like bullet point 1, bullet point 2. 2 is contingent on 3. We can do this in 2 years. It was simpler than that, but like it wasn't that simple, and that's dangerous midwit territory.
Yeah, it was a little bit here and there, and really you just want the one-liner. So that's off in the abyss. They're not getting back.
A little bit here and there.
Yeah, catchphrase.
It was a little bit here and there.
Did that make sense? That's for you to decide. So that's sick. Send it off. We're basically like, well, who knows? We're fucked. Probably they're gonna come back and reject us. Kind of bummed, and it's break. So I have no purpose in life anymore because like we don't have the company running.
Dude, we should talk about your hobbies.
No, dude, my hobbies are sick now. I'm playing hockey literally every day.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good.
And the hot tub's kind of cool. Yeah, we can talk about that after though, because I got a little thread on that too. Hey, if you want to talk to at some point, feel free.
Well, I chime in. I chime in where I can. I chime in.
Dude, you just got the little chimes and you
I don't know. I don't know the agenda.
No, dude. You want the agenda? Right there. You see that? There's the agenda.
Yeah, I can't.
Don't look at it. Okay. So basically what happens is we're like, okay, that's a bummer because I really wanted to
why
sell.
we needed to sell. The reason to sell is to take that money and invest all of it in our own content. That's if you're new around here or if you have no idea what we're talking about, because you probably don't.
Yeah,
but it was to take $1 million basically and just have 2-3 years of stress-free time to just make content.
2 to 3 years. Whoa, dude.
Now you
what
can
I'd give for
continue.
2-3 years. Stress free. How about 2-3 days, dude? I'll take whatever I can get. So yeah, we're basically like, okay, bummer. We wanted to sell because that'd be nice to just focus on the one thing that's actually working for us, like really well. And then out of nowhere, we get an email. It's like this miracle Hail Mary email that comes from a man that started our company. He was basically the first person we ever met as we became like a true company and service. It was Shaan Puri, who you might have seen him. We flew out to his home and built out his set, hung out with him, taught him things about the binge bank. We goobed for a little bit and it was fun. And we kind of worked with him for a little bit. Then, we stopped working with HubSpot like only months after. It didn't last very long. And I think he still thinks, or he still thought that we were doing clips for them. Who the fuck knows? But he came to us and he's like, hey, I just sold my company. He had this email newsletter about crypto. Sold that. I got a pile of cash, thinking about investing in clips. Like, oh, that's really sick.
No, he said, I want to buy a business.
Oh, yeah. This was buy.
Hail
This
Mary.
is like,
buy,
yo,
B-U-Y.
Give me the keys. Let me get this thing. And that's like the most opportune timing ever. I'm stoked, but I can only celebrate by myself because Henry's sleeping in Europe. So I'm like, well, it's just me to stew for like 10 hours, but that's fine. I'm feeling good. Hit him back like the next morning. We're like, hey, super interested. Here's like all the deets on our company. We don't really know what we're doing. You're going to see we played this process very wrong in multiple ways, but we had an advisor, which was like barely keeping us alive throughout this. Who's also one of our clients that's saving us right now. But we get back and basically get on the phone with Shaan maybe a week later after going with some back and forth. And I thought it was going to be sick. Belky, I assume your expectations were similar?
It was going to be sick.
It was. Yeah, it was going to be sick. And then we got on the call. It wasn't that bad. It was just like I really wanted to goob out because that's just like the fun thing. Bring some of our dirt energy. And it was more like an interrogation, not an interrogation, but like questioning. And then us realizing like, oh, yeah, you're right. The company kind of churns a lot. Like customers don't last super long, much more than 6 months if we're lucky. And he's like, so if customers on average last, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, like 10 months. That means in 10 months, there's no company. It's like, that's a really good point you made there. Do we have a counterpoint? Henry, do you have a counterpoint?
Business works.
That's how business works. So whatever. Then he asked like, yo, how much are you boys looking for? And we agreed ahead of time. Belky just had to go steady state, just head down. Like we want $3 million. That's a big number. But were we getting that? It's like, huh?
It made sense before we got on some of these calls and started digging into the business. Where's my focus? Right.
Like Shaan had asked us early on. This is actually the fun part because talking to our advisor too, he was like, lean into this. Shaan was like, yo, I'm trying to look at your clients and you only have like 20 or 30, so it's really hard to tell. But like, who are you trying to sell to?
That's the big one.
Like, Shaan, that's a really good question.
That's the big one.
Don't know.
He's like a little podcast here. You've got a tech company over here. You've got someone making YouTube videos with you. It's like, who are you guys selling to?
Don't know. Shaan, TBH, no idea what we're doing. Company succeeds in spite of us. And that was it. That was like the best we could do. And he got a little lols out of him. It's like, when in doubt, just lean into the dirt, lean into like the ignorance, just youthful nature of us. So we tried to do that, and then it kind of worked here where we asked for $3 million, and he was like taken aback. He's like, boys, like, okay. So say we're going profit multiples, which they say is like 2 to 5x on profit. Say we're doing like 750,000 in profit a year. That would be like a 4x multiple, which we thought was reasonable. But he's like,
A
guys,
reasonable
that
place to start a conversation.
yeah. It's not when your churn is 10 months. So, because that means the company's not going to last 10 months.
And there's no lead gen, and there's no operations.
Right. So he hears this, absorbs it. He's like, hey, boys, don't want to insult you here. I don't even know if I should say my number because your number's a lot bigger than my number. And it turns out like the number that he says is even higher than that number he ends up at. But whatever. We're like, yeah, dude, we're open to anything. We're crazy, dude. And he comes back. He's like, I'd be like $1 million plus all these contingencies because I think this thing's gonna blow up in 6 months. I'm like,
Not bad.
I'll take that. No, at the time we are kind of insulted because we're fucking. That was like our first, I think, real conversation about numbers. So that was like, okay, maybe people are around $1 million, and then we get basically advice after the call from this guy that sold his company for like $200 million, and he was bootstrapped it. He was like the main sole owner or one of the main owners, so he probably has like $1 million or $100 million. He's giving us advice. He's like, yo, if you're trying to do this right, you should really shop this deal to a bunch of other people. Like, that's a really good point. You kind of want to have people fighting over this. The problem is everyone we know is also friends with Shaan. So we end up like sending screenshots of Shaan's email to literally everyone that he knows. And we're like, hey, Shaan wants to invest. Do you want to invest too? Buy us. And we're just ignorant. Like, we're silly goobers. We don't realize that this might be bad because we also see Shaan the next day. He puts out a tweet that's like, hey, trying to buy a business. Who's it going to be? DM me. And we're kind of like, oh, Shaan, I thought what we had was special.
Shaan.
You just wanted us. But whatever, we shop it with some people. We get crazy because we want to sell this thing. Like the next day, a couple of them
24
weren't
hours.
super happy about that. I didn't even read those emails back and forth with that person and Belky. But we get the feeling after talking to many of them, they were valuing the company at basically 1 year profit, which in the words of our mentor is like dentist multiples, which is not great. So we realized like, hey, that's like 700 grand if we're lucky.
And put it this way. So it's a 1x multiple. It's going to take a year to earn out. We're going to have to stay on for 3 months. We need to transition over to them. We need to convince our team that they're in better hands with them, not us. It's like, oh, this is going to be more work to make less money this year.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I went back to Rhode Island. We're both trapped. I just got back the other day. Henry did too.
Trapped.
One of my roommates' friends died. Like one of my closest friends in college, his dad died. So I was just like hanging out in Rhode Island, and like my dad is like, "Hey, Dylan, like 3 of your closest friends' dads all died." I'm like, huh. Because my other best friend's dad just died like 6 months ago. Like my best friend.
Oh, yeah.
And then before that, my other like childhood best friend, his dad died. So now my dad's like, what the fuck? This is a trend. He's getting a little nervous. We were talking about retirement, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I'd like to retire in the next year, but like, who knows? Because like, you got to like make this weird judgment of like, do I have enough in the bank to ride this out for potentially 30 years? Or maybe it's only 5 years and I should like retire now. But it's like a really weird calculus to do. So I'm just like, fuck, I really want to sell this company just so I can like focus on the thing that's going to make a lot of money, maybe give some to him and like push forward the retirement. My dream is just to play hockey with my dad, but he's like fucking a sloth right now. So he hasn't done anything in forever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really want to sell this thing. And now we just got Shaan. And he was the highest anchor we have because everyone's like below 1 million. And Shaan mentioned 1 million. So like, let's make this work. I'm texting Belky constantly. I'm like, Belky, we got to make this happen. Whatever it takes. Like, let's just
I didn't know this was for the dads.
But
I get it.
I didn't realize till like looking at my family, I'm like, it'd be really nice to retire my parents, but you know, you can't when you make negative 120 grand. Uh, so, so, um, basically we're right on Shaan. I think we hit him back with like, yo, Shaan, what do you think about this? 80% of the company for 1.45 million, basically like 1.8 million valuation. He's like, y'all are
Because you
crazy.
need to keep us. You need to keep us for the optics,
Oh,
for
yeah.
the team, and it would give us some cash flow if we still had 20% of the thing.
Yeah. Because he also wants to make sure like the leads are there. He has a big audience, so like there would be a lot of leads, so then it's not a huge concern. He also has like the guy that operated the Milk Road, which is that email. He would run Clipped. So like there were a lot of things that could just
You
like
can't
plug and
run
play, just come
Clipped.
in. So basically he was like, no, dude, if you got offers like that, like take it. I'm not going to be anywhere near that. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, hey, let me take the weekend, get back to you, and we'll figure out where we're at. So we wait, and I think it's Tuesday morning. Let's call it Tuesday. Well, dates don't matter.
Yep.
Whatever. A morning comes, and we get this email, and it's like Shaan laying out the exact terms. It's like, hey, this is the best and final. Like he basically never really made an offer except for this. It's like, this is the number. Here's the contract. Sign it, or we just move on, so we can keep things fast. Because hey, I don't want to be in a bidding war with my friends. A little neg. He negged us because he found out because you know all his friends texted him. So the problem is the offer was really shitty. Like really,
The worst, the most,
really
the
shitty.
most, the most.
I wanted to make it happen so bad, but it was basically like, hey, we're gonna pay you 300 grand today, and then in a year, if the company is just like stayed steady state on track for like 1.5 million, we're gonna pay you another 400,000.
400. Yeah.
Right. So or
So it's
whatever.
a 1x multiple.
Right.
750 grand. You can have 40% of it today. 300 grand. The other 60% in a year, contingent on us growing a little bit. You own none of the underlying asset. You lose all of your cash flow. Here you go.
It was basically like, hey, if the company is still here in a year, we're gonna pay you all the cash that we made that year. It's like, I don't. What if we just ran it ourselves?
And what I realized is, if we lose 100% of the thing, we also lose 35 of the best editors in the world that are of tremendous value and loyalty to Clipped.
Yeah.
Horrible terms.
Yeah. He didn't really bite on any of that 80% thing. I like the 80% thing, but they didn't. But it didn't matter because that was an absurd offer.
But this is the
Yeah.
problem when you think you're Elon Musk, right? And you go Elon Musk straight to the end. Life's not straight to the end.
Well, that might have actually been the end because we got pretty high churn.
Oh.
It's a pretty reasonable offer given the company.
Yeah.
But hey, bummer. We wanted to make it work, but it felt a little bit transactional on all fronts. But hey, whatever. I think there was too big of a gap regardless. So we realized, hey, we're gonna have to run this thing. Shaan, not gonna work out. Let's figure out the company. The problem is we've been trying to sell this thing for a month and haven't been selling. I feel like this happens a lot, but if we kind of like check out and kind of like lose track of the business, and then we step back in and we're like, oh, we had like one good month and hired an extra third of the company, like an extra dozen people, and now have to pay recommendation bonuses plus all these new salaries.
Dude,
and all the money's out the door.
It's so obvious. We have a glimmer of success. We go hard in the paint. We push the long-term problems. We just procrastinate on them, and then 2 months go by, and all those problems
feels
still
like
exist.
2 years. They're still there, dude. They're just bubbling under the surface. So yeah, that's hitting us hard right now. But we got a chip. We got this like, hey, we're gonna make this bitch work because it's actually a pretty sick company when it works. The problem is I don't want it to work for long. I want it to be like we've been trying to figure out what to do, and it kind of reminds me of like this Ali Abdal video where he's talking about like 15 different revenue streams, and one's really profitable in theory, but he hates doing it, and that kind of feels, not that we hate doing it, it's just like a distraction to what we should be focused on. Because like they always say the best founders, like a Steve Jobs, like the key to Steve Jobs was he just focused, just laser focused on the one thing that mattered. And now I'm like, fuck, I just want to do that so bad. So really the goal is like 2-3 months we can start recomposing the team. I don't want to build out Clipped at all. It's just like absorb the team into doing like hour-long form, or I don't know. We're gonna see. Granted,
just
my
become
first
a media
long form
company,
bomb,
which is what we intended to be 6 months ago, and then we got distracted with agency stuff and all that.
Yeah, dude, that was a big distraction.
But it's become a media company.
What's cool though, I got 2 more notes. One, this optimistic note is our shorts are easier than ever because we hired a writer. And
so,
Dino,
there's a silver lining.
Silver lining,
Optimism.
dude. Dino comes in. He's just fucking cooking up these sweet scripts. We're going back and forth, hoping and get him from like 80% good to 90, then 100%. So we just like show up on camera, say the words, and then move on. Granted,
and we must have screened 150, 200 people, and no one was even close. Dean comes stomping in. He's might as well be mini you.
Yeah, he's got a good voice on him, as in like his writing voice. So that's cool. This is my last thing, I think.
Don't you have a whole story?
It's not really a whole story. It's
at the
gym. What did I do? Why did this happen? I think I went to hockey, and I went to get my skate sharpened for hockey for my tryout because I wanted to have fresh blades so I could really carve through the ice, go fast. I went there. There's a big line. It was a busy day. So like, hey, it's going to be 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just hang out and listen to some audiobooks. I tried that, got really bored. I'm like, maybe I go over to the gym across the street with the pool and just ask if I can see the things. So I go there, and here's the problem with me. Henry, you know this. Maybe some listeners know this, but I'm really easy to upsell. So I walk in, and they're like, hey, dude, you want to see the pool? You got to do a tour with this person here. Her name's Emily. She's super sweet. And I'm like, hi, Emily. You're super sweet. And she's like, yeah, come on the tour with me. We walk around, shows me the facility. I end up paying like $250 a month to go to this gym and sign up for a year contract. So that's the downside potentially.
Premium economy.
I don't actually know if I'm going to use this gym. I've been like force feeding myself to use it just because I'm like, wow, I really did that, huh? But this was the deciding factor for me because, I don't actually plan to lift weights. Maybe I will, depending on how my body looks in a couple months. But there's been this guy. And so 2 people, easy going mobile, the mobile studio. I don't know how to tell this story, but basically this guy that we've
through you.
Let it flow. The guy who's dating the chick that I met in that Sweet Green and told that other story. Yeah.
Who you're stalking?
The boyfriend. Yeah. I'm stalking all of them. I'm trying to stalk all of them. He goes to this gym. I see it in his vlogs every day. His name's Kelly Wakasa. And this gym is literally like right across from the hockey rink. So I'm like, I'm going to see this motherfucker. I haven't seen him. So I'm like, let me just sign up for the gym. I'll go there every day before hockey, after hockey. I'm just going to be there and smell him out. The crazy thing is I go to the gym, first day, fucking nothing. I just work by myself. Second day, I go in, I walk in. Hey, day two. I go in and, I tried to show up. This was tryout day. This was a little bit before tryout day. So I had some time. I'm like, let me hit the sauna. Let me hit the hot tub. Let me get relaxed because I got to skate hard and I got fresh blades. So I walk in and the first thing I see when I turn the corner in the locker room, Kelly Wakasa. I'm like, motherfucker. I see him and I get another, 2 people, right?
Did you get the shakes?
Okay. Fewer shakes because I'm not physically attracted to him. I don't think. He's a tall person, taller than I expected. But it's him and this other guy, his camera guy. name's Colt. So I see them, and now a similar thing to before when hey, listen to that story. It was probably on the last episode or whenever. What's his girlfriend? Ashley. When I saw Ashley, I walked into Sweet Green, saw her. I was like, oh fuck. Continued on my way. Then turn around and I'm like, hi Ashley. So now I'm gonna go back into my playbook. I see them, play it cool. We kind of like do a weird stare. I go to my locker, like kind of like right next to theirs. I put my stuff in. I got my hockey stick, like a fucking like a scythe, like or scythe, whatever that's called. And I put my stuff down and I go back and I'm like a second later. Hey dude, hey Kelly, yeah, dude, big fan, dude, and give him a little fist bump.
I make animations. Animations.
Didn't say that, dude.
You didn't.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Learned.
I learned. I'm playing the long game, dude. I go in, Kelly, dude, sick, big fan. Yeah, dude, big fan. To his camera guy. Now, here's the thing about the camera guy. I saw for a couple weeks camera guy's sister.
Oh no, he saw camera guy's sister.
I saw camera guy's sister. Now the problem with that is it only lasted a couple weeks. And it wasn't. I'm not great at communication.
It wasn't favorable.
It wasn't a favorable separation. Oh, so no. I don't think so.
Oh, he has no empathy.
So
the sister. Oh no.
So this guy, I guess the sister must have shown some of my like shorts or whatever to him. This guy Colt, he's like, I recognize you. Didn't you with my sister? I'm like, yeah, dude, that was me.
Oh,
does she still hate me?
Gardaloo.
I said Gardaloo. And now it's just picture like Kelly, Colt, and me. And now it's like Kelly's like, what the fuck? Why? He's kind of like, why aren't you talking? Like, you came here for me, and now you're just talking about like hanging out with this dude's sister.
So I'm like everyone.
Yeah, dude.
And the sister.
No, dude, I just live here. I live here and walk around, and they come into my turf. Granted, I moved here after them, and partly because of them. Definitely because of them, I joined that gym. But that's cool. I'm like, yeah, dude. Does she still hate me? He's like, no idea. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. What's the deal with the girl that you've been trying to hook up with? Because he has this little like half love story. Dude, I know the deets. So he's like, yeah, she's in Canada. Doesn't matter. We just go back and forth for a little bit. And then Kelly's just like, what the fuck am I doing here? He's like, guys, I gotta go. Kelly just like walks. And then Colt's like, well, I fucking came with this guy. So all right, see ya. And they both leave. And that's it. That's it.
Wow, dude.
That was the pinnacle of my day two at the gym.
Huge
first impressions. Didn't bring up animation. I think that's for the next time I see them.
Yeah.
This was at I want to say 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday on last night.
Write it down. Book it in.
So you better believe I'm going back. I'm gonna see him naked. That's my goal, and then convince him to have Koi help with some animations because he had some animations at the start of today's vlog, which is cool.
Did Ashley ever respond to your DM?
No, dude. No. I didn't name drop hanging out with Elliot Choi this time though, because sister. But
yeah.
No, all's good here, dude. I'm making moves.
Such a ridiculous plot line.
It's kind of like something's gonna happen. I'm gonna be friends with them one day. I will.
Yeah. And then you're gonna be like, wait, these people are 20, and huh.
Here's the thing. I think I sent you this pod, and I don't know if you watched it yet, but it was Ryan Holiday and
not yet
Morgan Housel, and they're like two successful authors, sold millions of books, and they're talking about how Morgan was just on the Tim Ferriss show pod. He's like, "Hey, dude, how's fame?" Because like, was this or was this Danny's podcast? Whatever, one of them. Morgan's like,
it was right.
They asked Morgan, "How is fame? How is fame? What's it like?" And he's like, "Dude, honestly, like, yeah, fame's like interesting at times. Like, yeah, it's cool that like Tim invited me onto the show because he read my book and I'm popular. But like, honestly, all that really matters is my friends and my spouse. Like, I don't really care about all these people. It's cool, but it doesn't really matter. Because what affects my happiness? My kids and my spouse. I'm like, kids and friends. But friends don't really matter. Kids and spouse.
Kids, friend, spouse.
So I'm like,
Dude, I think the more I think about it, I think most of life's meaning comes from kids. Because we got a dog. Did you know we got a dog? That
are you
dog
asking the audience?
doesn't do capooch all day long.
I know.
But just it being is like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a thing that depends on me to keep showing up.
You think what percentage of your like post puberty life has been single? As in like without
puberty life?
Yeah, because you had a girlfriend in high school and then you were single for like maybe a year in college at most.
Well, when does puberty end?
Okay.
Because I think I'm still going through it.
Boys are cracking. No, dude, you're not. You're not growing, and the hairlines are going back, dude. You're not trying. You got to get on my program. Look at this muff, dude.
You're leaking out of the hat. Leaking right out of the hat.
Dude. Because I've been in Rhode Island, I haven't been able to get a fucking haircut, and he's only in town like once a week. So it's like, oh, missed you this week, and it's like, all right, whatever. Oh, and I look Nikki B. I didn't say that for the fucking meeting Kelly Wakasa. I didn't expect to meet him day 2, so I went with this cabbage, dude. It's like this, literally. I'm like, hi Kelly, hi doo-doo sister, I dated. Sorry, dude, didn't mean to do that. Great first
my
impression.
computer's gonna die, Pop.
Oh
my god!
You didn't answer my question, but I feel like you've had a
Oh.
lot of people around you for a while.
Dude, people are sick.
Like the 80-20, I feel like you've been 80% in relationships, and I've been 80% not in relationships.
And look at you. Need a little more relationship in your life, Pop.
Maybe. Just I don't know. I don't know how I do with like Binks or a dog or anything. I'm like, do I need them? Can I rent a dog? I don't know if I really want like
You could walk dogs.
No, I don't want that. I don't really think I need a dog, but dogs are cool. Hey, that's the pod. We're gonna make 50 grand in the next couple days, or you won't see any more pods. That's gonna be sick. Garden.